Hey, what's up guys? Rhino Rates Music here, and we are back for another end of year list, and this time we're going to be going over the top 50 best songs of 2024. So obviously in my last video we made the top 15 worst songs of 2024, which was a burden to get through, not just because those songs sucked, but because we still had a lot of stinkers within a year of mostly great music, and that's what we are covering in this video. It's the best of the best in the form of songs. And this list was hard to make because there were so many good songs from all different genres that came out this year, and I didn't want to be biased towards certain genres. I wanted to include a bit of everything from almost any genre, because it seemed like this year there was something for everybody, something for any fan of any genre, and that's what I loved so much about music this year, and going through so much different music within the last few years. But I also had quite a lot of fun making this list, and I'm going to share it. So as always, I'm going to skim through from like 50 to 16, because if I just talked about every single song extensively, this would be too long of a video, and then when we get to the top 15, I'm going to slow it down a bit. But I might say a few words about a few songs before the top 15, but if there's any song that I sort of skim through that you guys want to know why I love it and why I included it on this list, let me know in the comments. But for now, let's get on with the list. Coming in at the number 50 spot, we have Near Archives with Silence is Loud. At the number 49 spot, we have Lip Critic with The Heart. At the number 48 spot, it is Death's Dynamic Shroud with Rocking Chair Song, which is one of the softest but still most beautiful songs I've heard from them. That's quite different from a lot of their other stuff, but frankly, I hope they keep going in this direction. At the number 47 spot, it is the Jane Remover remix of Frost Children and Danny Brown's Shake It Like Her. At the number 46 spot, we have Tame Impala and Justice collaborating on Never Ender. At the number 45 spot, it is The Dare with the very cheeky, funny, but also colourful Perfume. At the number 44 spot, we have The Smile with Friend of a Friend. Man, I just love a good Tom York style chord progression. At the number 43 spot, it is Olivia Rodrigo with Obsessed. At the number 42 spot, we have Clipping with Keep Pushing. 41, we have Alice Longugao with Love Korean Girls featuring Mega Mongoliad. And at the number 40 spot, it is St. Vincent with Flea. At the number 39 spot, we have Arouge Aftab with the very gentle, precious, gorgeous Whiskey. At the number 38 spot, it is LCD Sound System with X-Ray Eyes. 37 spot, it is Cara Jackson with Right, Wrong, Already, which even the leftovers from her last album just sound absolutely gorgeous, and this song's a prime example. At the number 36 spot, we have Rachel Chinariri with Never Need Me. At the number 35 spot, it is Father John Misty with the post-rock inspired Screamland. At the number 34 spot, it is Ichiko Aoba with the song that's just too beautiful for words, Luciferine. At the number 33 spot, we have Beneficium by Shushu. At the number 32 spot, we have Ali X with Off With Her Tits. Such a clever but fun track that tackles on gender dysmorphia as well as body standards and fears on perceptions around a woman's body type. At the number 31 spot, we have A$AP Rocky with Hijack featuring Jessica Pratt. At the number 30 spot, we have Denzel Curry with Hot One featuring Tia Corinne and A$AP Ferg. And at the number 29 spot, it is Willow with her amazing jazz vocal pop inspired Big Feelings. At the number 28 spot, it is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with Long Dark Night. At the number 27 spot, it is Zach Bryan with Pink Skies. At the number 26 spot, we have Julia Holter with Spinning. At the number 25 spot, Billie Eilish, Birds of a Feather. At the number 24 spot, it is the Lemon Twigs with the super ridiculously fun and catchy How Can I Love Her More. At the number 23 spot, it is Laura Marling with the absolutely delicate, precious, tear-jerking Child of Mine. At the number 22 spot, it is Knocked Loose featuring Poppy with Suffocate. At the number 21 spot, we have Hiatus Coyote with the very heavy, noisy, but absolute blast of a track, Cinnamon Temple. At the number 20 spot, we have FKA Twigs with one of her best chord progressions ever on Eusexua. And at the number 19 spot, it's Jamie XX with Life featuring Robin. At the number 18 spot, we have Doechii teaming up with JT on the insanely fun hip house track, Alter Ego. At the number 17 spot, we have Fontaine's DC with Starburster. At the number 16 spot, it is Megan Thee Stallion with her insane, fun diss track Hiss. And then slowing down at the number 15 spot, it is Kendrick Lamar with his ultimate diss track this year, Not Like Us. Now, of course, the hip-hop beef between Drake and Kendrick was one of the most talked about moments in music this year, one of the biggest hip-hop beefs in history, and while you could probably put any diss track from Kendrick on this list, I almost put Meet the Grahams on here just because of how insanely psychotic this track is lyrically and how beautiful the instrumental is, or even Euphoria for how clever it is. But ultimately, I had to go with the track that sealed the deal, that not only defeated Drake from a lyrical standpoint and a rapping standpoint, but even from a commercial standpoint, because typically that's the area Drake excels at when it comes to making songs that are more catchy, more memorable, more danceable, but he didn't even do that. Kendrick came out with the W on this track because this track is super catchy. And just the fact that you have a song like this with a beat as insane as this, that was as popular as this, with Kendrick basically exposing Drake for being a PDF file downloader, among many other things. It's just the ultimate lyrical takedown. It's just so fun, and just everything about this track rules. I love it. Coming in at number 14 spot, we have Beyonce with 16 Carriages, who, of course, Beyonce, as we know, came out with a very country-adjacent record this year, and this track, while obviously Texas Hold'em was the more popular one, I always thought that this track was the much more superior version. I love how this song finds a balance between both rustic and grandiose at the same time, with a bit of rock inspiration, a bit of art pop, and a little bit of gospel as well. It just culminates so beautifully. Beyonce absolutely kills it with the vocals and also going down this style, and I think she did that pretty well on most of this album, but this to me was the standout track of this album, or at least of the two singles, and I just think it's incredible and continues to showcase Beyonce's talent and longevity. Even if this song and this album didn't remain on the charts very long, I think this song just, there's something about it that just sounds so timeless to me. Coming in at the number 13 spot, we have Beth Gibbons with Reaching Out, and man, that's just something lately with a lot of older artists or legendary artists that are expressing themes of mortality or death. You had that on The Cure with their new album, you had that on Swan's album last year, as well as PJ Harvey, but I think Beth Gibbons might have done that the best, doing it in a way that sounds very intricate, like very heartfelt, quite mournful, but also very self-aware, and she very much does that on this track. And just the instrumental on top of that with the heavy drums, those string passages, and the way the horns rise, it just gives it a bit of a haunting flavor as well, with on top of how amazing Beth Gibbons' vocals is on this track. Like, just this track is just so wondrous, so mysterious and dark and haunting and pretty. There's just so many words I could use to describe it that just would not do the song justice. It just seems like anything Beth Gibbons touches is just amazing, whether that may be her stuff on Portishead or her solo stuff, and that is very true on this song and this album she released. Coming in at number 12 spot, we have Kamasi Washington with Prologue, and this might be one of his best pieces ever. From the drum performances, the saxophone, the modal passages, the chord progression, the band chemistry is just incredible on this track. Just every time I hear it, I'm taken to another place, and as the drums and all the passages get faster and faster and faster, I'm just becoming more and more immersed into this world. And that's the magic of jazz, and that's the magic of Kamasi when he is at his best, which is very much on this track, the closing track to his incredible album. Now, coming in at the number 11 spot, just short of the top 10, we have Chaperone with Good Luck Babe. And man, what more is there to say about this song? This incredible, colorful, dynamic, also catchy pop song. One of the best choruses this year, one of the best bridges this year, one of the best throwback vibes of the year. This song literally reminds me of some of the best 80s new wave synth pop rock songs that I grew up listening to, and Chappell not only brings those vibes back in a perfect way, but adds her own spin on it, from her vocal performance, her persona, as well as her lyrics that Obviously, a lot of her lyrics are quite open about her sexuality, but in this case, talking about another person, somebody who's close to her, who's having their own troubles with a certain lover. So there's also some great lyrics on this track, on top of just having an insanely catchy chorus, an amazing instrumental, and just such an incredible throwback vibe. Like, I'll be honest, I wasn't fully sold on Chaperone at first, but this was the song that really sold me on her stuff, and I'm looking forward to whatever she comes out with down the road. Alright, now we are in the top 10, my top 10 favourite songs of this year, and at the number 10 spot, it is Chappelle with Mask. Like, just this song itself, from the freakish vocals, the very dense, heavy, and very, very low-tuned guitar riffs, and the drums, just everything about this track, sound-wise, is just absolutely crushing, soul-crushing, and scary. On top of the lyrics that do a great job on tackling elements of toxic masculinity, as well as the way some people may be perceived when in a certain relationship, or how they might perceive themselves, or how they may feel they have to act when in a toxic environment that they clearly need to get out of, but just end up feeling stuck because of the way they feel and the way they think others around them feel. It's just a incredibly clever way of tackling that topic, and done in such a freakish way, with not just, again, the vocals and also the instrumentals, but also the ending as well, the way it just all culminates and the riffs get even heavier and even darker, and just the screaming vocals, just screaming desperation, just is incredible. Like, I may not have loved this new Chappelle album as much as their last album, but this song is easily one of their best. Coming in at the number 9 spot now, it is Remy Wolf with Cinderella, which, like on Good Luck Babe, there is a lot of throwback vibes on this song. The only difference is, I think this song may be a bit more colourful in terms of the styles of pop soul, funk, bedroom pop, chamber jazz, just so much going on with it, yet at no point does it sound chaotic, it doesn't sound messy, it's just a lot going on, but the song is still catchy. Me and the boys in the hotel lobby. From the whistling, the horn sections, the saxophone that sounds amazing, the percussion is just all incredible, and Remy Wolf as a songwriter has just really shown heaps of improvement on this song as well as this album, and her vocals still sound amazing, and also just she expresses so much personality, and it's just great that she's on a song with an instrumental that matches that personality. It's just terrific. This is a near perfect pop song in my opinion. Coming in at the number 8 spot, it is JPEG Mafia with Sin Miado, which, if there's 3 things I guarantee in life, it's 1, death, 2, taxes, and 3, any album or single JPEG Mafia releases, it's likely going to end up on my best songs of the year list, and for good reason. 1, the sample is super catchy. The riffs are super heady. The rock and punk inspiration on this track is incorporated so well. Like, JPEG Mafia has always had, you know, that punk adjacent appeal, but him actually rapping over an instrumental that has some elements of punk just works so great. And yet his typical knack of incorporating samples, creative samples, and also beat switches and incorporating that into the instrumental is still very much here, especially with the beat switch. And again, I think it's also one of his catchiest songs, especially with the way the sample is incorporated. Just everything you could love about a Peggy song is pretty much on this song. Coming in at the number 7 spot, it is Maruha with The Invisible Man, which did not think I was going to rank this track so high, but from this song, again, there's something about this song that sounds scary, freakish, but otherworldly at the same time, with the performance, the lyrics about existentialism, and also about paranoia, on top of this very heavy but also colorful creative instrumental that mixes elements of experimental rock, post-rock, and art rock and jazz rock. Just gets better and better as you listen throughout the track, and this song just continued to grow on me with more and more listens, to the point where it actually ended up being this high on the list, which I didn't expect it to, but here we are. And Maruha haven't even come out with their debut album yet. They are on 2 solid EPs, and this song might be their best achievement. It just makes me even more excited for whatever they're going to do on their next album, which is hopefully in 2025. Coming in at the number 6 spot now, we have Adrian Lenker with Sadness as a Gift. Man, if there's anybody who knows how to make a very intricate, beautiful and absolutely touching song with just so little, just with her voice and the simplicity of the instrumentals, but still bringing the best out of those. It's Adrian Lenker. From the beautiful acoustic guitar, the fiddle that just sounds so melancholic but gorgeous, as well as her lyrics and her vocals that just, just you feel like she's speaking to you, like she's touching your heart on this track and a lot of other tracks from a new album, and it's just wonderful. It's just gorgeous. Whether it's Adrian Lenker with Big Thief or in her solo stuff, she just does not disappoint, and this track is no exception from that. Okay, we're in top 5 territory now. At the number 5 spot, we have Porter Robinson with Cheerleader. Now, it was hard for me whether I wanted to include Cheerleader or Russian Roulette on this list, because I think both are amazing tracks, super colorful, and also lyrically amazing, but in the end, I had to go with this song. One, the chorus is just incredible. The dense instrumentation, the way it mixes elements of like modern electronic music and indie-tronica with like emo pop punk from the 2000s, but not the kind of cringe pop punk. He just does in a way incorporate genres that you wouldn't think would work together very well, or that Porter Robinson being an artist you wouldn't think would incorporate these genres, but he did, and it just absolutely peaked on this track with the stunning chorus, the vocals, the lyrics that also have this creative narrative of this obsessive fan who seems to almost have a love interest in Porter, and Porter kind of being on the fence as to whether he stays clear of that, whether he should, be cautious of that, or whether he should cherish that because of some of the positive feedback he loves hearing from his music, and also admiration and accolades that he may receive from certain fans, but that kind of resulting in him going down this loophole and falling for this trap of a fan who's obsessive of him more because of his status as a musician and not for him as a person. It's just a very creative way of taking this approach. It's also a very personal track. All this with this incredible, colorful, fun instrumental and catchy chorus. It's just an amazing pop song in my opinion. And even though I may not have been as crazy about this album cycle as other people were, or at least as I was for Nurture, it really turned out so well on this album. It just continued to grow on me more and more, as did this song, becoming one of my favorite songs this year. Now, speaking of incredible pop songs, at the number 4 spot, it is Magdalena Bay with Death and Romance. My god, you could pick nearly any track, any song from this new Magdalena Bay album to be on this list, and I wouldn't mind it, but at the end, I had to go with one of the first and best singles they released, Death and Romance, which is just pure pop magic. It's got everything you want out of a traditional pop song, with a catchy chorus, a dynamic linear structure, a great vocal performance, the lyrics that talk about love and lust in such a creative way, in a way that kind of, on one hand, you just really want to fall for, but on the other hand, maybe want to steer clear for. It's a song that works both as a great standalone single and works so well in the context of the album. It has all that you could want, but on top of that, just something about Matt's production that just brings out the best in some of these traditional pop aesthetics. The synths sound absolutely heavenly. The progression is just to die for. It's so detailed, so colorful, so immersive. Every time you hear this song, you get more and more out of it. On first listen, it's already amazing for how catchy the song is and how dynamic it is, but you just get even more out of it as you hear it, and that's what you would want from like the perfect pop song that Magdalena Bay seem to have a knack for, and just have taken the underground by storm for a reason on this song and on this album. Okay, now at the number 3 spot, number 3, it is Geordie Greep with Holy Holy. More like holy shit. Like, what to even say about this song from its creative, very out there, exuberant, versatile instrumental that incorporates elements of experimental rock, art punk, gospel, samba, also jazz, just so much going on, and yet he seems to do it so well on this track, and it's just super fun to listen to. Like, if one of the things I wish I could do is go back in time to listen to this song for the first time, because I was just absolutely amazed, even as someone who's always been a fan of Black Midi and not sure how they were going to go, or where they were going to go after their breakup, but Geordie was like, hold my beer, please, because he's still got it. He still knows how to make an incredible record that's just so detailed, so dynamic, and so exuberant, but fun as well. And on top of that, the lyrics of this song that take on the perspective of this egomaniac picking up a shag or going on a date with a girl who's just, just incredibly egotistical, narcissistic, filled with insecurities that this person's compensating with high libido and some unrealistic or some dangerous sexual fantasies is just something that I think like only Geordie Greep can do, and somehow it works. It just all culminates so well. But even if you're somehow not paying attention to the lyrics, just the instrumentation just comes across as I said, exuberant, just out of this world, otherworldly, and even the holy, holy chorus is quite beautiful as well. There's just so many words to describe this song, and it still would not do it justice. It's Geordie Greep continuing to be one of the most creative and versatile musicians out there. Okay, coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Charlie XCX with The Girl So Confusing version with Lord. Now, of course, with how big Brat Summer was this year, there had to be at least one song that was going on this list, and you could pick any, whether that may be 360, Von Dutch, or Apple. But at the end, I had to go with this song, and so did a lot of other people. Not only was the original Girl So Confusing already an amazing song, what the remix did is it basically, without even changing the instrumental too much, it changed the original from being a song about insecurities, about how other girls may perceive you, to a song about acceptance, a song about coming together and kind of addressing some of those insecurities that Charlie may be hypothetically expressing within the lyrics of the original track by bringing in Lord for her perspective and why she may be this, or why some people may be perceiving her this way. But it just completes it. It completes the song, but at the same time adds a completely new spin on it. This is how remix tracks should be done, in my opinion. Once again, the song itself was already amazing with the instrumentation, the dynamics, and just how catchy and vibrant the song is. But bringing Lord in on this track and just completely flipping the narrative just made it even better and just made it perfect. However, it's not quite my number 1 song of this year. My number 1 song for 2024 is going to be Vampire Weekend with Capricorn. There's a whole lot of reasons I chose this as my number 1 song. 1, the instrumental is just absolutely amazing. It sounds chaotic, yet controlled, colorful, immersive, otherworldly, kind of brings you back in time, but also kind of brings you to the future, just does so many things with incorporating elements of pop, rock, chamber pop, jazz, industrial, just does so much. The pianos on this song is just too beautiful for words. Every time I hear it, every time I go back to this song, I'm just always almost in tears just from that piano. But the song has so much more with the instrumentation, and then add on top of that Ezra Koenig's vocals, and he is just in his songwriting bag on this album and this song. The way on this song and on a lot of this album, he's talking about generational wars and how the struggles of when you look at things in a generational context, the struggles of being within a certain time period, being a certain age, and having these expectations, these standards that's put on you for being this age, coming from the perspective of an older millennial like Ezra Koenig, just really resonates with me. And on top of that, they still make it sound catchy with the chorus. Capricorn, the year that you were born. And just so many lyrics that just really pop out. Too old for dying young, too young to live alone. Man, nothing more true than that statement right there. So yeah, a lot that's being said on this song lyrically. It's everything you could want. Amazing lyrics, amazing vocals, amazing band chemistry, great to see the band's back, amazing instrumental, and I don't know, man, like maybe it's not most people's choice of the best song of the year, and you could probably choose another single from this incredible Vampire Weekend album like Mary Boone or Classical, but at the end of the day, I just had to go with Capricorn, and it's a reason it's one of my most listened to songs this year. I just can't get enough of it. I had to choose it as my song of the year. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this list. So next we're going to do the best albums of 2024. So if you guys enjoyed this list, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of this list. What's your favorite song of this year? And until then, I will catch you in the next video. Have you guys a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.